How does DLTX work? Well, today I'm gonna show you. So, for starters, if you've already come here from my last video, you've probably known now as a player you don't need to work much. But as a modder, there's a good amount of things on it. Or maybe you're interested, oh, hold on. Maybe you're just interested in generally, how it works. So, Merely Miz, the creator of the mod, also left a description here. So, modding S.T.A.L.K.E.R has this annoying tendency to result in conflicts when two different mods overwrite the same file, but not the same variables and sections within that file. DLTX aims to mitigate this by allowing a mod author to not only overwrite the value, that they actually wish to change in a separate file, which should greatly reduce the amount of needless mod conflicts and they need to manually merge mods.
It's the what?
So how does that actually work? Now, for starters, we might actually want to install DLTX. So, how do I use it as a modder though? Before we go into that, you can see that we have lots of things, and if you've been already taking a look at that and been equally frustrated like I have been setting this up, you probably figured out it just simply, this for some reason doesn't work. Even on command line, it doesn't work. Maybe as well, you're one of those people who have said, okay, even using the executables, if I'm a Russian language speaker or Japanese language speaker or whatever, that doesn't use, as you're speaking a language that is not Latin characters, it just doesn't allow me using those characters anymore for my characters. These issues and all I'm gonna fix in this video today. So, for starters, we have DLTXify by right click, made by Mr. Demonized. I was about to say demonetized. This person is probably our messiah for DLTXify, seriously. Because this mod is pretty fucking good. Let me just, rate this one. This is really good. It's really useful. So, how do we install both of these? I have them already downloaded here and I have already set up my Anomaly folder here. So, we want to open this one up, all of the DLTX one up. We want to copy all of that. And we want to paste all of this in here. And we are going to replace all the files in the destination. Because I'm a mainly English speaker and most of my languages that I speak don't use anything else but Latin characters, I don't have that issue. However, I might want to build this one as well, especially for this tutorial's sake. So, apart from that, we want to have a DLTXified. Now, contrary to what it said, we want saying users unpack the archive in the Anomaly folder and run DLTXify. Yes, and we want to copy all of this and not put it into the folder here, but we want to put it into the tools folder where our LTX diff is located in. Replace the file in the destination. Now, if you take a look at the DLTXify's usage descriptions, it says the mod must be a folder with game data folder inside it, just like when Mod Organizer 2 stores mods. As reference, watch the old video if you haven't watched it, so go ahead. You need to have a fully unpacked game archives and put it into Anomaly folder /unpack /game data. If you want to change the location, you can open DLTXify PS1 file and change the game data path variable. Yes, this is where we are working with. So you probably, when you freshly installed one version of S.T.A.L.K.E.R Anomaly, you don't have this folder. How do we do that? We use the db unpack batch. If you want to use the other one, go ahead. It covers every fucking file, but it takes a ridiculous longer time to go through all this. So I'm just gonna go for the sake of this. We're gonna go with the db unpacker. Also, the DLTXified mod will be created in a separate directory with name of the original mod _DLTX. That's something that we need to watch out for, but that's totally fine. Now, while this is working, while this is doing its thing, we can actually install our DLTXify add to the right-click menu. Yes, it's not yet there, usually. So we're gonna right-click this, we're gonna run this with PowerShell. Yes, we open this. Yes, we want to open this. Oh, and it didn't run. Okay, hold on. Run with OpenShell. Always ask before opening as well. We're going to remove that one. Open that. Yes. And now you can see it has worked. Windows is a very peculiar thing. You want to use this generally, you know, because I have this personal issue. If I open up LTX diff, Windows protected URPC, run anyway, and boom, it closes itself instantly. If I run this as administrator, I have the same issue. It doesn't start. I don't know what it is. Merely means if you can give me any pointers, you're most welcome. But notice how it's underscore unpacked instead of unpacked. We can change that. If you press F2 on your keyboard while you're on a folder on Windows, you can just simply change the name. You don't have to right click and always do that. Bam. So we're gonna do that, and we find, oh, we have some configs, we have scripts. You know, if you have the entire thing fully builded, it's much more than that. But you know, only if you absolutely need it. So we want to copy this. I want to Control Shift and N, create a new folder. That's our game data folder. Bam. Copy that in. Oh wait, hold on. Why are we copying that? We just, you know, Control X and Control V. Control X is cutting it out and moving it basically. So now it's in there. We can see our configs are in here. That's good, right? So I want to open up a new Explorer window for the reasons I will show you in a second. For that I hold Windows key and E, and oh, look at that, we have a new window. This is great, right? Alright, we go back to my folder, to my you know, drive. We have the mods folder. We have one mod already in here that has been put here by me for testing purposes. That is the Shotgun Scopes and Sights version 501.5.1 from Dux Fortis. If you want to, you know, follow along in this tutorial just to check how this works yourself, I'm gonna put this link into the description as well for this mod. Right, so we have it installed, we have it unpacked, everything is here. If we go in here, we have the game data folder, we have a patch. We want to move that patch out of here. Bam, it's in here. Just the game data folder is in here. We have also the game data folder in here, but we don't really need to that right now. We want to work with this one. So we see we have some changes in here, and we're gonna right click. We want to DLTXify this mod. And you see PowerShell opens, and it does the job for us. So while this is working, I want to go over something incredibly difficult to pull off if you are not a techie person, and that is to build these executables yourself. Building the modified executables yourself. It has also a tutorial in here. Now, I've seen that this mod has this issue. Not sure if it's been fixed with the Russian and everything else. But you know, if you are still running into this issue, I'm gonna tell you how to fix that. It's another issue currently. Current known issues. Attempting to override weathers is going to cause a crash. The game loads any loose files in environment/weather/ as root files, which inevitably loads any mod files as root file without any base definitions. Now you want to take care. If you watch this video anywhere after the 1.5.1 version of Anomaly has been released, it could have been already fixed, so you don't have to worry about this. If you're watching this likely after it's been released, or likely during the release of 1.5.1 Anomaly, or of the release of DLTX differential LTX loading version number something version 7, here we go. Yes. This issue is still relevant. You do not DLTXify at the moment anything that's, you know, related to weathers. Wait for the patch, right? Always wait for the patch, take a look, read through this. So we can already see we need a good amount of stuff for this, right? We can see if you want to build the binaries by yourself, you just take a look at the code, or rather the Anomaly dev team want to include this code into your next release. I've supplied a diff patch in other underscore stuff to apply it. You need a Git client and Anomaly's X-ray engine at version 1.5.1. Run the following commands once you have Git installed. Now, Git and GitHub are two different things. Yes. So you want the Git SCM. You want this here. You do not want to go GitHub client. You do not want this. Unless you really need this. But you do not want to run this. If you're not actively working on the code, don't install this. This is not the Git. This is not Git. This is GitHub. This is what you want. This is available for Windows, macOS, and Linux. Regarding Linux, I have a Linux budget gaming tutorial waiting to be done. Just watch out for that one. However, for now, download for Windows and install it. You can rush through the installation. There's nothing you have to really be worrying about. If you do want to have a look through it, go ahead. But it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's a lot of stuff in there, but once it's installed, you have good things you have. So we can see, by the way, before I'm gonna go deeper into this, you can see DLTXifying has been finished, and for that, we can have a look into our mods. We see we have the DLTX one. Now we want to, compare this. We want to compare this with our thingamajiggies here, right? So we have the game data in here. We are on the game data file 0. And we see, let's have a look at configs, right? And we see, mod system SSS version 5 has been created. What is that? So we double click that, we have a look at that, and Atom launches. And we see, some things have been changed. The TOZ34 gauzes did shoot, and the doublet, the sounds, we have some exclamation marks here with the Ford 500. What did it do? What did it do? So basically there are only the changed variables now in here, according to what has been said, but we don't have the exclamation marks in here. Alright, what's this? We're gonna have a look in the actual, in some of the actual config, like in the actual LTX files that have been changed. This is the separate file where everything is stored. But if we take a look now into the items and the trade, we see the bot trade banned as version 5. And we're gonna have a look in the other one as well. That was items, trade, and we have the trade banded one, right? So you can see this one is a bit longer, has much more stuff. This one is much shorter and only has the changed variables in here. We have the exclamation mark traded by supplies, bloop, exclamation mark supplies, and the exclamation mark _new. You have some added items and things like that. And here we have only the standard ones. Now, while we have that, we might also want to have a look on how it used to look like. What's the old version of this, right? So we're gonna go ahead and go into configs, items, trade banded, and we can see this is pretty much just as long as this one, but it has some things changed. So this is what it does. This is what it do. This is exactly the thing that DLTX is working with. Instead of having a conflict, of having the same LTX file changed with different variables, you have only one separate LTX file which is being loaded anyway in the same location, changing only the variables that need to be changed with the exclamation marks and everything, right? This is exactly what it does. The exclamation marks are there to, solve further conflicts. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But I think this is pretty much what I've been deducting from my own logic, and that is that. That is pretty much that. Now, back to the initial issue, or not the initial issue, the issue for people who use a language that is not using Latin characters, that have this issue that after DLTX installation, they cannot write their own name. Well, compiling. As said, we need Git. We need Git. So, for that, we just install that, and we can see, if we go into our Anomaly installation folder, we have the other stuff in here. We have the differential LTX loading diff. This is diff file. What is a diff file? You can have a look at that on Wikipedia. I'm not gonna take a long look for that. However, we want to go into here and open git bash. You can also use git cmd if you want, but I'm a lazy bastard. I like git bash because the thing is, I'm gonna show you something that you can do in bash. That's also something you can do in every. Bash is basically what's being used on Linux. You're just gonna copy that, and you can right little mouse button that, and boom, bam, bam. That's that. It now is cloning the repository of the X-ray monolith engine. Now you want to change the Duo directory into the X-ray monolith folder, and then you have this. Now you obviously don't want to copy that, right? You want to only git apply, and then put some shit in there. So we're gonna go put git apply, and now we don't have the your path to other stuff. My other stuff folder is in here, and we're gonna copy that, middle mouse button this, and we have backslash. You can also use forward slash, it really doesn't make a difference. Differential dash LTX dash loading dot diff. Bam, it's in there. Warning, one line adds white space errors. Fuck that shit, it's in there. Once the patch is applied, add a mass underscore string buffer CPP to the project S.T.A.L.K.E.R in Visual Studio. Now you should be able to compile Anomaly as you normally would. Visual Studio. Yes, you need Visual Studio, and you need some of its dependency files. Well, some of the dependency files of the X-ray engine. What does that mean? So, once you have it installed, you want to have the 8.1 Windows 8.1 software development kit and the 2015 Visual Studio Builder. I'll show you how to find these. If you go into your Visual Studio installer, and I have it already installed here, we're just gonna go modify. I'm going to into the individual components. Put in 2015. You have this one, the build tools, and I think it was the
5 seconds later.
You really need the 8.1. You need the 8.1 SDK. Yeah, that's the one that you want. You want to install this. This is one of the dependencies, and you want to install the 2015 Visual Studio build tools. Once you got that, you want to open Visual Studio, and you want to open a project or a solution. And for that, you want to go into your PC, into your local disk, into your users, into your own folder, and then go to the X-ray monolith file. You go into the src, which stands for source, and you have the engine sln. This is a project file. Now you're being loaded in, and you do not want to review solution actions. You do not want to do this. You do not want to upgrade the projects to the latest Microsoft tool set. The reason why is because, one, you don't have any idea what you're doing. Like, let's be honest, right? You're watching this tutorial because you have no idea what to do. Two, if you had any idea what to do, you would tinker around with it until it doesn't work anymore anyway. And third, this is a tutorial on how to do it normally, right? So let's just go for it. You have the X.R.Core. This is the X.R.Core project file. Why haven't we all opened this one first? Well, it's simply because we have to build this engine, which is why we have to open this one. So we have this one here. We can't see, we can't see our file here. So how do we drag that in there? So the differential LTX diff, we can't drag it in there. We are supposed to drag something else in there. Now if we have a look in here, what we're supposed to do, we have mass string buffer CPP. That's the one that we needed to load in. We don't have it in here. You know where we have it? I can tell you. We go into here, we go into the local disk C, we go into users, we go into our own folder, we go into X-ray monolith, we go into SSC, and we go into the X.R.Core folder. Yes, the very own folder of where the project is in. So we scroll a bit down. That's what we did earlier while we were applying the differential LTX loading diff. This is the file which was in there. So to basically do this, we're just gonna drag and drop this right inside of this X.R.Core project, and there it is. Right. Now, this will take a buttload of time, but like processing time just to do, but it's pretty much simple for you to execute. You go into your build now, and you go batch build. You go select all, and you build it. And now your compiler starts compiling. your Visual Studio is studioing, your builder is building, and it takes a long time. Now, of course, I'm not gonna sit around here and wait until it's done in this video. This is just merely to show you how to do it. But you can already see in the X-ray monolith file, once this build is started building, you have the underscore build one, and you have the underscore game one, and you have the bin underscore debug one. This is where your files, this is where your executables are going to land. Now, as said, I'm not gonna let this builder run through entirely, and I'm not gonna do this because I just do not have the time for this. So, to show you another thing which you want to maybe have a look at is if you modify this, the language packs. If for some reason after this it doesn't work for you, you might want to click on Russian, click on Japanese, Korean, whatever language you speak that uses another another code set. You want to install that, and then you want to do it again. It takes a long time, I know, but if in case for some reason it doesn't work, I have this weird theory that it could be related to that. I haven't tried it my own yet because my PC has been dying, and it's still dying. If you want to support me financially, I would need to set up something for that, but I'm pretty sure you all are just as broke as I am, so I'm not gonna bother. But this PC working on that is taking a lot of time. I'm pretty sure yours is faster. If it isn't, welcome to the club.